at him. All right, so we have finally done it. Bought some stuff from Temu. I've seen tons of videos of how cheap everything is, so I went online, started looking for some stuff, and it is incredibly cheap. This whole bag cost me less than $16, so which is absurd, especially after you see everything that I got from it. Obviously the bag came packaged a lot better, but I ripped off labels. Nobody needs to know where I live. I got a reel, line, and some lures. Crankbait, frog, chatterbait, and a duck. We won't use the duck. We'll probably use it in another video because it actually looks pretty neat. So we'll probably use that in a different video. But nevertheless, like I said, the whole thing was less than $16. I think it was 15 and some change. It was the cheapest bait caster I saw on Temu. I haven't used it yet. It doesn't feel awful. I mean, especially thinking that it's only $6 or whatever it was. But obviously we'll have to see what happens when we end up hooking into a fish. We got some pretty nifty line. Not that that'll catch any more fish, but it's neat. Chatterbait, crankbait, and a little frog. So we'll get all this rigged up and get out on the water and see if we can't catch a couple fish. So we are starting off with the chatterbait that we got from Temu also. I don't know how expensive it was. I think it was like $1.20 or something like that. $1.80, I can't even remember. But I want to try something with a little bit of weight on it just to see how casting goes. We'll crank this guy up so we don't end up with a backlash on the first cast, hopefully. See if we can get this somewhat tuned in, but I don't have high hopes, but I guess you never know. So we'll crank her up, see how she goes. We'll loosen her up throughout the day if it doesn't do awful. But all right, first cast. Ooh, actually it doesn't cast awful. I feel a little bit of chatter. Oh, it rises really quickly. You have to reel real slow. Let her sink a ways. Wasn't too bad. A little bit of backlash. She rises really quickly. Probably should have got a heavier bait. Obviously with braid it's going to make it rise a little bit more even too, but it does chatter. We just got to reel real slow. I don't know what, oh, it's a 6:3 gear ratio, so it's actually kind of slow to begin with, but all right. Well, there's our first backlash. I assume there's gonna be more over the day. We do have the brakes as tight as they go, so we will work on this for a little bit and start fishing when we get done. All right, crisis averted. We didn't have to, all right, I just don't think I can throw that hard. Oh, got one. I mean, the drag didn't slip. It's not a big one, but ooh, he is skinny. Skinny. First one on the Temu. Did fine. I mean, obviously it's pretty small, so it's not going to pull drag, but didn't slip when I did set the hook. All right, see if we can get another one. That was easy. Obviously, you didn't mind the colored line. I don't think the colored line's going to do anything for us today as far as catching fish, but It does look pretty neat. You gotta feather this a little bit, but it actually does pretty decent casting, even with such a light lure. Bill's got a little bit of grind to it, but again, I didn't oil it or grease it or anything else like that. So, and again, for $6, what can you really expect? Oh, got one. Oh, I had one. Smoked it as soon as I hit the water. Oh, got one. Popping there out of the grass. He's not a big one either, but he ate it well. There he is. Again, didn't slip, drag, nothing wrong with it. It's actually casting pretty well. It's a pretty small hook. As far as chatterbait standards, it's not real stout, but I mean, hasn't bent. It's got a decent little bait keeper on it. It's not bad for, I don't know how much it was, $1.80, something like that. Not too shabby. That's two already. Got a little frog tied on. Weren't able to catch anything with the crankbait, but this isn't a great crankbait lake. Obviously, just because there's so much grass, it's not very deep. So, tiny little guy. We'll see if we can't catch a couple on this guy. This will be fun. This will really put the reel to a test to see how decent the drag is too. See how much it slips. All right, first cast. What is that little bird doing? Came right over to my frog. I don't know if he thinks he's gonna eat it. I don't know what kind of bird that is. This size frog is absolutely perfect for the size fish that are in this lake though. Oh, got one. Oh, missed him. That one came out of nowhere. These hooks are not very large, so that's my one concern about trying to catch a bass on them. Down. Oh, that actually wasn't, it didn't slip. I'm surprised I hooked him. Look at that on the Temu frog. Just had him right in the meat. Better one of today, not a big one, but maybe a tiny bit over a pound, but nice. I'm excited. Like, this is wild. I didn't think any of this stuff would work, and it's working well. Oh, missed him. Missed him. Got him. Let that one sit for a little bit. Little guy. Oh, big enough. Oh, we lost an eye. We lost an eye on our frog. Only got one now. Well, finally got another one. Took a little while. We are fishing in the middle of the day, so can't imagine or expect it to be lights out on a frog. Oh, got one. As I say that. Small guy. That's the smallest one I think of the day. But I like this little frog, and it's, I think just because of the small hooks, well, they're small fish too, but just giving them more time than normal to get it in their mouth and get it situated. I did bend out the hooks a little bit just to give a little bit better hookup ratio, but it doesn't have a very wide gap, so I assume they don't, just innately it's not going to have the greatest ratio, but caught those. Got him. That one slipped a little bit, but there we go. You got that one down there. They're all hooked, but barely. I mean, I assume that's just the gap. It doesn't allow them to get a super deep penetration of the hook, but all right. Well, see if we can't catch one more before being done for the day. Oh, I had him. Shoot. Came full on out of the water. Not getting that one again, but I assume that there's probably another one over there. There's usually quite a few fish on this point, so can't tell me there's not a fish sitting right there. Oh, oh, he just like sucked it under real. Knew there'd be a fish there, but he just like barely sucked it under. Might have only had the legs. Oh, threw it. Shoot. I don't know if that was the same fish or not. They're not biting very hard over here, for sure. Last one of the day. Did he get it already? He's got it. Oh, he had it. As soon as it hit the water. No. Oh, I thought I lost. The battery's still hanging on and we're still catching fish. One of these is going to be our last fish. Just keep catching them though. Battery can't. We're on 1%. It can't last that much longer. Oh, I thought I lost it too. Oh, he got that one down there. Well, my battery's about to die. That is going to be the last one of the day. They absolutely love this little baby frog, which makes sense. They're pretty small fish, but the reel held up. Casting, I would not say is like the greatest, but it did well enough for us to get, you know, baits where we wanted to. Am I going to replace my Shimano's Daiwas or lose with it? Absolutely not. But for a really cheap option, it's not bad. Not bad at all. But nevertheless, if you guys like this video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and as always, if you want to see more like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.